All right, it's day seven. You're out. What are you feeling right now, Mike?
Um, wow. So 7 days ago today, I walked out of prison, was dropped off at a bus station after nearly 30 years of incarceration. It's been a real whirlwind of a week, and I'm extremely taxed right now. I'm stretched. Um, what am I feeling right now, Reg? It's uh, it's been a really fascinating as well as daunting week. Um, I've had moments of exuberance, a lot of that actually, and then I've had innumerable moments of meltdowns, just being overwhelmed emotionally with simple things such as opening a refrigerator, learning and using a microwave in a home. It's so many things, Reg. It would take more time than we probably have here in this house, 6 months, to try to find our way through the world to really explain all the firsts. And I've had some with you, Reggie. You being one of my assigned roomies. Um, just for example, 2 days ago, you were a guide for me and left on foot out of the house for the first time. It was amazing that day. I'll never forget it. Went to my first Walmart with you. Wanted to hug everybody. I couldn't help keep myself from yelling "Welcome to Walmart" while we were in there. Uh, Wanted to do cartwheels down the aisles. I wanted to pick everything up and look at it. Everything. There's a million items in there. I wanted to go up to every item. But I think I had you a little stretched. You were good. You were patient. But rode our first bus. Got on my first bus in over 30 years together. That was exhilarating. Uh,
Did you feel overwhelmed with all the people that was at Walmart?
Surprisingly, I didn't. No, I had a real fear of that coming out of prison. But when I was extradited by airplane um, from Nevada back to California for my release, I had my very first panic attack in my life, anxiety attack. They had a hoodie over me, chains, shackles, a brace on my legs so I wouldn't run, even though I was more scared than they were. I wasn't going anywhere. Not to mention I was being released. And when we got off the plane, I had to choke back, getting motion sickness. Being in a plane, I was nauseous. Being on a van, all that, the motion, I had to dig deep for some intestinal fortitude, not to allow myself to get sick or go out. Uh, we were coming through LAX, and there was people walking all around me and coming toward me, and I was shackled still, and I had two handlers with me. One was right with me, and I told him what I told you. I was more afraid than he was. I wasn't trying to go nowhere. Um, and I froze up, Reg. I had to throw myself against the wall, and I panicked. I was having trouble breathing. Everything was coming so fast. It was like stepping out of a cave, or yeah, deep dark cave for the first time in as many decades, and all of a sudden, all these people in motion and movement, colors, everything. I was just stimulation overload. And the handler that was next to me started yelling for his partner. He's panicking. He's panicking. He was yelling through crowds at LAX. Guy came running back and just told me to take it easy. And I told him I'm not moving, man. I can't move. Give me a minute. Regain my composure. But like I was saying, just experiencing being on a bus with you for the first time, and a Walmart, McDonald's. Uh, it was with you that running across the street, stuff like that was, it was just literally surreal, every bit of it.
How did you feel when you first left the house?
Anxious and apprehensive. Um, First walking out of the house with you, walking into a neighborhood, through a neighborhood, not through a cell block, not my familiar surroundings. Prison guards, prison gang members, convicts, prisoners, inmates, all the cacophony of noises that go on in probably any and every cell block across this country. Now I'm walking through a neighborhood with you. I got to be honest, Reg, if it wasn't for you and my comfort with you, I'm not so sure I would have left the house Friday on foot.
Do you feel that, what things from prison have you taken out here to the streets?
Everything, regrettably, everything. Wow, what a question. What things have I taken? Prison, as you know, I don't know if you agree with it or not, but prison, as you well know, after so many years of being in there without respite, Reg, it permeates your very soul. And I have fought every single day of these past, I don't want to keep repeating the number, but this overwhelming majority portion of my life spent behind bars. It's permeated my soul, and I've fought every day of that not to let it. And yet it has. And so now it's trying to undo it, Reg. In fact, I'm grateful for you doing this with me, for my sis and my loved ones who can't be with me, and they're wanting to ask, and I get it. They want to know every day, what are you doing? How you feeling? And I've been mandated to spend my first 6 months in this transitional center to make the readjustment, so I can't be with them, for them to be with me, for them to support me, or your loved ones or anyone else's them. And even though I did not want to come here, Reg, and they can't be here with me or me with them, there's no part of me that wanted to come here. But now that I'm here in this particular transitional housing, I know it's the best thing for me. And I'd love to lie and say, no, I'm better suited going right to my family and all that. I think going through something like this is absolutely beneficial for anybody that's been away for any extended period of time. I'm not qualified to say what those years are, but for me personally, I think this is what the doctor ordered, and never thought I would hear myself say it or feel it. But this, where I'm at and you're at in particular, I gotta believe this is a paragon of transitional places that it sets the stage for success, for someone making the necessary integration back into society in a healthy, safe, successful manner.
Could you name some of the small struggles periods you face every day?
Yeah, just being out of prison is a struggle. That's a deep question. Just being out of prison is a struggle. The world's a very big place, and I remember being on the prison van. I feel like I've been all over on prison vans, buses, airplanes just in the last few weeks. It's all catching up to me. Plus, I've been most blessed to cross the threshold from prison into the free world, where all of our family and loved ones reside. and live and exist. Um, I struggle every day with like thinking I'm almost doing something wrong, like I'm supposed to be back in my cell. During the various counts, I find myself always looking at the clock, thinking, damn, I got to be back for a count. This seems like it's very temporary. Now that you asked that question, being here, like outside the prison walls and being here in this home, I feel like it's all going to be taken any minute. That's a struggle for me. Realizing that this is real, being out of prison, and they're not coming and snatching me back and sending me back for no reason. But I feel like it is, like it's only temporary and fleeting, and that's a major struggle. The adjustment, when you say struggles I deal with every day, I'm extremely emotional, man. A lot of emotion going on with me in me. I'm not used to. You've helped me more than anybody actually with this phone, learning this technology, and not that they're not here for that. I know they are. I haven't gotten into those classes yet, but you're my bunkie and you're my roommate. And fortunately, you're adept at this technology. You grew up with it, and I'm comfortable with asking you, and you've been more than gracious sharing it with me. That's a big struggle, but I'm resolved. I want and need to learn this, and it's a big struggle. This technology, that all this stuff is brand new to me. So I'm struggling to find a healthy balance of not overdoing anything, Reg, be it learning this technology. I really, just me communicating with loved ones daily now and not having the stress and anxiety that we become accustomed to of gunners. Are they going to be shooting while we're on the phone? Is a fight going to break out behind us, in front of us? Always being vigilant, watching, looking, always wanting to be one step ahead of everything. I'm not in a cell block no more, and yet I'm trying to blend naturally into this, if you will, that I'm not in a cell block, I'm not in prison no more. I don't have to hurry and, I only got a minute, we got 15 minutes, I got to get 3 calls in, and there's other guys waiting on the phone, and a lockdown or a fight might jump off, so I got to get those calls in. And a lot of struggles, Reg, a lot of imperceptible struggles for others that haven't been through this war, and lived in it and have been permeated by it and damaged by it. There's a lot of undoing that needs to take place, and I'm trying to find a balance and do it within my means. And I'm blessed to have a great deal of support, to have somebody like you as a guide that's been willing to be that for me. It's almost like, to me, you're my youngster, Reg. You're a youngster to me, and I'm the old timer, and yet I'm okay with leaning on you because you've made it okay to say, Mike, I got you. When we were walking the other day, the traffic was extremely unnerving to me. I wanted to run away from it. It was going so fast. When we were walking, whether it was coming at us or coming behind us, Reg, I was really frightened by that traffic. I was unnerved. When you ask what are some of the struggles daily, I could go on and on and on. But if you were to ask me what are the blessings, okay, conversely, Mike, what are the blessings? Those are just as is numerable or more. It's just going to, I think, take time to catch up that I am out, we are out, Reg. It's just learning to embrace it all, be okay with it, and stay present in it. If you were to ask me, Reg, what's the main thing like when we were in Walmart, I was busting, my chest was busting open. I just want to scream to everybody, and I probably had a few moments when we were together that day that I was doing that. And I want people to realize, Reg, that it's just, I don't mean this to be cliche, but it's not about the destination. I see people, it's like I'm coming out of a deep, dark hole in the ground, and I've emerged from that dark place, and now I'm seeing everybody just racing everywhere, and their heads are down in this technology. I've read about this for years, and I've heard about it for years. Now I'm experiencing people don't even notice each other out here. On the one hand, selfishly, I've had a deep paranoia. If I were to ever make it out of prison, everybody's going to know. They're going to be watching me. I'm going to feel tagged, marked, completely out of place. None of that's happening. Or I don't feel it. It is, but not at a big level. I do feel some people have noticed I'm a little different or off, if you will. But people are so immersed in the technology that I feel like they're missing life. Every bit of life is being sucked up by technology and these computers and these miniature computers and everything else. They seem oblivious, Reggie, to life itself. And if you were to ask me, Mike, it's a big thing if you could stand on the top of a hotel or a planet and yell down to everybody. And it would be, and I know I was at some point when we were together the other day, I yelled this somewhere that we were wake the F up, like for everybody to just realize, hey, life is very brief, and this technology may be wonderful, it keeps people connected and all that, that's great. But everybody's in this human rat race, Reggie, to just get from one place to the next. They don't ever seem like they're present to me. And I think I'm fully present today, and I want to spread that. I want to share that with everybody, to slow down and open your heart and your soul and your eyes. Set your technology down. Set your keyboards down. Look at your loved ones. Tell them how much you love them and appreciate them. Look at a stranger. Give them a hug. Give them a smile. Say hello. Anything. Embrace each other. Humanity. That's it on the side of struggles and blessings, Reg.
What about your family? What would you like to say to your family right now for all your support they've given you over the years? What would you like to tell them?
Wow. Just for all those that have been there with me and for me for all these years and that have stood by me, Reg, first and foremost, my mother. Just how much I love and appreciate them, and it's because of them and my mother in particular, but the loved ones that have stood by me too, that it's probably given me the strength and focus. It's easy, Reg, I hate saying it, when you're sentenced to serve the rest of your natural life in prison, not even being reviewed to see how you're doing. It took almost 30 years for me to even see a board, Reg. And if it wasn't for loved ones, I don't know that I would be sitting here today, and that it'd be such a happy ending, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I think there's a lot that needs to be revamped with the judicial system. Like I said, it took nearly 30 years just for me to see a board, Reg. And I don't even want to use the name of Charles Manson right now. I don't even know. I think he's passed. Is he deceased? Mm-hmm. I still don't feel right using it, but people used to make me aware. They would say to me, hey, do you realize? People that knew had never seen a board, and so many other guys that I've long known that are not being reviewed regularly. People have said to me throughout the years, do you know that Charles Manson has been in front of the board, and at different times it'd be a different number, like numerous times that he'd been in front of a board, and I'm like, wow, damn, so many guys are put on the shelf, Reg, they're locked in a cage. And even if we're sentenced to prison for life, for 50 years, I mean, it's necessary. Prison's a necessary evil for the evil that's out there and that some of us perpetuate. But to me, the concept of redemption, we're all imperfect, Reggie, and every human being should be provided the opportunity, be willing to earn it, to redeem themselves. We all make mistakes. We all fall short. Redemption, Reg. And again, if it wasn't for my mother and the loved ones that have stood by me, they know who they are. I don't know that I'd be sitting here right now, because the system doesn't give you much by way of hope. It's something that we have to cultivate within ourselves. And for those that are not suited, Reggie, with faith and fortitude and determination, you know, all those, I've watched the prisons over the decades become inundated with mentally ill inmates. This system was set up for criminals, for those of us that have broken the law, and that by the Constitution, Reg, can stand those charges. And there's so many that have been dumped into the systems now that are mentally ill, that they shouldn't be in prison, because they're subjected to all kinds of violence and abuses, and what their families must go through worrying about them. And the system needs to be revamped, Reg. But I know I went a little off the deep end there when you asked about how I feel regarding loved ones and stuff. My gratitude for them, you know, my gratitude for them, for my mother, for Mom especially. It's inexplicable, it's ineffable, it's too deep to even express my gratitude to all those of you that have stood by me for all these years. It's because of you that I'm sitting here in a transitional center today, and I'm full of wonderment today because of all of you. So thank you, and I love everybody for that. And I thank you, Reg. Thank you. You know.
What would you say to anybody that want to go down the wrong path, or what would you tell them about prison and your experiences with prison?
Don't do it. Be sure what you're signing up for. As I've found myself fond of saying throughout the years to youngsters, Reg, that I've been dealing with for all the years I've been away, we all come from imperfect backgrounds. Overcome. We got to overcome that. Deal with our pain, let go of the past. I know it's easier said than done, but as far as acceptance and looking for acceptance from the wrong places and people in the streets don't give, they only take. They're merciless. And be sure that what you're signing up for, that you're prepared to go the distance on it, because as I said, the streets, these systems, these I'm saying these like we're still in prison, cell blocks and cell walls and prison bars, they're not going nowhere. Figure it out, wake up, make amends with the past, make amends with yourself, forgive others, and do the very best you can. Love yourself. Love yourself.